Masahiro Sakurai might be one of the best sources of inspiration you can find from Nintendo. His design philosophies of fun for everyone and as pleasing as many as possible have led him to create two of Nintendo's finest series. Kirby was a great idea with the design and polish to rival the likes of Mario, but once the Super Smash Bros. Series started, Sakurai did not let himself or others give half effort to any of the projects. Every single game in the series is crafted with care, hard work, and passion. So now that Ultimate is out, I like to retrospect for good memories and look forward for good things to come from Nintendo themselves. Not many people know this, but I never really grew up with video games. Hell, it took 5 years of my life for these interactive wonders to even be in my consciousness. And I got my first console when I was 10. Friends' houses then became havens of good times, so of course in one of these special places, I would find out what I'd been missing. My introduction to the series was random. My father brought me to one's house that I can't remember. I was completely bored, so when I was then told other kids were playing games in another room, I went there with an excited rush and found the most strange thing I'd seen. Super Smash Bros. Brawl was there, right before my eyes, and looked intriguing but strange. It took a good time for me to figure out what I was truly seeing. Through some explanation from the boys playing it, I got the general idea. I didn't even play the game at all, I was just in awe of the whole crossover idea. Of course, that wasn't the only game in the series I played, so on to Smash 64. With my lack of software, I found a miracle that would give me the variety I need. Emulation. All I had was a Windows XP computer and an interest in the N64. My third installment to my old emulation library was a trip to the origins of Sakurai's gold mine of a series. Smash 64 was the first Smash game I owned and got into, even though I was playing on a dinky keyboard. My first time playing Classic Mode and Target Test was only the start. I still really enjoyed the game, but as the first game in the series, there was nowhere to go but up, as it would for me, and my next stop was possibly the most agony Sakurai went through to get out a Smash Bros. Game. Super Smash Bros. Melee was my next discovery in the series. Once again, it was at a friend's house. It may have been a brief period of time playing the game, but I was thrilled by the fast pace of the game. I had a blast and absolutely loved the scarce time I had with it. However, the creator didn't feel the same way with the development. The fact that Melee was such a huge step forward to the series and its development time was so short meant one thing for Sakurai and his team: an intense development cycle involving overworking. All of his work paid off due to the game's reception and Sakurai's view of the game himself, but a process like that would never happen again. There was plenty of care and passion for the project, but for the next installment, they would need a longer time to put their passion and care in. And so, a long silence from the series then came, and 7 years later, the Wii got its big crowd pleaser. Brawl came next and marked the start of Smash's global excitement. The third-party characters in Smash Dojo garnered plenty of hype. While yes, there was the Melee site for Japan, the Dojo created worldwide anticipation, which was a special thing. 7 years later, I got my hands on the game. Finally taking ownership of a game I only knew a bit about felt great. Getting to undertake the adventure that was Subspace Emissary was one of the coolest things I ever saw in gaming at the time. It's something that I wish could truly be replicated, but at least we still have this. I got into a Smash game truly with other players for the first time, with plenty of friends playing and laughing over the great shenanigans. The extra modes, all of the collectible items, and everything else molded Brawl into my favorite Smash experience then. Now, on to the interesting game in the series. Smash 4 was the first game in the series where I was conscious of its release date, and I was excited. All the trailers were amazing, but my lack of Gen 8 Nintendo consoles didn't make them as hyped to me. It didn't stop me from playing it though. Teen hangout centers, friends' houses, and even church groups were all opportunities to play Smash 4. The most interesting thing that the game had to offer were some of the complex characters: Shulk, Villager, Robin, and many more. That's probably the best compliment I can give to Smash 4. Smash's charm was lost with the single-player content taking a hit. The good redeeming factors were the classic Smash gameplay we all knew and love, and the great music and the amazing characters, but it just wasn't the same, and I just lost interest in Smash 4. So in came Melee once again to make Smash more interesting. I worked on emulation even more with Dolphin, and I eventually got into Melee. It was really fun because of the combat system and the pace of the game, and I just always had a blast whenever I would boot it up. So when I was able to find out that I could play the game online, I rushed to it. I didn't know how to cheat, but it was still plenty of fun, and it really became my favorite Smash game just due to the pace and the characters. This was all at the start of the year, so I had no idea about the craziness that was about to happen. With the Nintendo Switch finally bringing the company up to glory with its concept and presentations that were super popular on the internet, it was inevitable that the new Smash Bros. Game would cause a reaction so great you wouldn't be able to escape the discussions. While the path had been laid out for internet culture hype with E3, that wasn't enough for Sakurai. His ideals on making people happy and pleasing as many as possible created some of the most amazing internet reactions. The fact that every single fighter returned, one of the most wanted Smash characters came into Smash, and just people wanting to see more of Smash made Nintendo's whole E3 livestream day one be the most popular thing on YouTube. That's kinda crazy. And of course there was more Smash hype to add as Nintendo's coverage improved tremendously with the whole tournament and Treehouse itself. E3 was a real special time for me to embrace what I was about to experience in a few months, and really was a special time for everyone. It was unbelievable. After a little under 2 months, another Smash Bros. Direct was released, and the crowd pleasers kept on coming. Ridley may have been one great character, but of course that wasn't enough, and with this Direct we realized how much we were really getting. Once again, Sakurai pleased as many as possible. He balanced out the hype all around with Simon, Dark Samus, K. Rool, and Chrom. I know some felt differently. Yes, Chrom! Plus, all the other things we were told, including the music, stages, and new features, meant something huge for me. For the first time, I truly felt excited for a Smash game. When E3 rolled around, I felt joyed and a little hype, but the trailers and reveals of August made me ridiculously excited despite having much association with a lot of these characters. So some more months passed and we were met with the final Direct. We finally learned about the single player campaign and the amount of work Sakurai put into the Spirit system. And then we got the game's joke character. And it was amazing. Putting in another Mario character based off a standard enemy is quite possibly the best way to clown on people's expectations. Just putting it on top of the final Direct made the whole thing priceless. Anyway, we were ready to experience the game, and on December 6th, just a few minutes away from release, we were greeted with something amazing. Joker's reveal in Smash proved that the game has still more to offer, and it is certainly not lackluster. I honestly think I was the most hyped I've ever been that night. Finally, the day had come, and I had never been more excited for a game release day. On December 7th, I finally got my hands on Ultimate. To give reference to my views, I've already established that I'm a fan of the fast pace of Melee, so how does Ultimate do in comparison? Way better. This is my favorite Smash game by far, and what a game it is. Nintendo's main line of games for the Switch get across the point of celebration and improvement, which ties into what the Switch really is to me. Breath of the Wild has all references to past games while sticking to the series' roots, and Super Mario Odyssey has so many nods to Mario's history scattered everywhere, celebrating Mario itself. The Switch takes so much of its design from other systems to create a unique and innovative console that celebrates where Nintendo has come. The Super Smash Bros. Series, on the other hand, has always been a celebration of Nintendo. So in this case, it doesn't pull any major punch back. It gives almost everything I could have asked for and more. And honestly, I feel that constantly. The satisfying pace of the matches, the abundant character roster, and the amazingly composed musical tracks, the great classic mode, it's just everything combined makes Ultimate practically perfect. Due to what I believe the console represents, of course the new Smash game will go above and beyond our expectations. The whole feel of the game is fantastic overall, with the rewards to aggression. The Smash Bros. Finally feels like a fighting game with its tweak mechanics, but also other tweaks make it seem more accessible. It's the perfect balance that it's always tried to reach, and now it's there. The Spirits mode is the most ambitious thing that they've ever undertaken, pleasing more people than ever with how much that really made it into the game. The fact that I got into a game like Starfy and came out completely happy with its representation with assist trophies and Mo as a spirit just goes to show how much care and love of gaming Sakurai truly has. While some may lament the lack of appealing characters or representation for their personal favorites, I think there are way more people that are completely overjoyed with what they have gotten, as well as the overflowing amount of options and modes they can dive into. I feel that Sakurai's decisions with the series have influenced Nintendo at this point. The love and care he has put into Smash past and present is so renowned that it wouldn't be surprising if Sakurai's passion and effort inspired other Nintendo developers to adopt his ideology when it comes to game development. Looking at what we have now and looking at what we have to come, it seems like that's kind of true. But Smash Ultimate is something else. It is practically one-to-one with what Nintendo is proving itself to be, but also shows the hope of the company's future. If Nintendo has been inspired from the past Smash games, I can't wait to see what comes next from the company. It may be evident now, but certain great things are bound to happen from this game. Thank you, Sakurai. Take a vacation and soak in some new ideas, because if your past work has shown anything, once you're inspired, amazing things can and will happen.